Part of self-care. Kelly Kitley, owner of Serendipitous Psychotherapy, shows us how to do it. You heard a little bit of our conversation now about period and the importance of period. That period comes after the word no, because you were telling me no is a full sentence. And so that speaks to our conversation about healthy boundaries. So let's just start with why this is so important.
Absolutely. So this is a hot topic in the psychology world. People talk about boundaries. And what does that really mean? It's really limit setting in order to take care of ourselves. And a lot of times people have a hard time hearing the word no. It is not a way to be disrespectful to somebody else or to be mean. It is really a way to say, what am I capable of? And no is a full sentence. And so last night, for example, as I was handing out Halloween candy, I had to put boundaries on myself and say, you are allowed 4 pieces of your favorite candy so that I wouldn't eat all of it. And that carries over into how we are in relationship with other people. And it's about communication. It's about being direct and being able to say, you know what, I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me, or can I get back to you about that? And it's really important now as we close October and head into the last 2 months of the year. This is an extremely busy time for people. And especially as women, we have a tendency to say yes and do more because we don't want to disappoint people. And so it is important to pause before we respond and look at, how is this going to impact me in the long run?
And it can be really hard to say no to other people and even to yourself. As you mentioned, it can be just tough to feel like you're disappointing somebody. Talk about the importance of really protecting that personal space.
Sure. So it's a lot easier, I tell my clients, to work through the uncomfortability of letting somebody down as opposed to having to work through the resentment or the anger or feeling really depleted. And so if we can think about, like the example I used with candy, if I overate, I would feel like I had a sugar rush and then a crash and then I wouldn't have slept well. I can play that tape forward. We need to do that with our relationships too. If this doesn't work for me and I'm saying yes, the likelihood is that I'm going to have to do a lot more work so that I'm not angry and bitter and feeling short-fused when I do something with you.
And of course, these boundaries are invisible boundaries. So how do you know when you might be violating somebody else's boundaries?
Well, you can ask, and certainly, you know, physical boundaries are a little easier. We think about, you know, a bubble around us, but we really do want to say, hey, is this okay with you? And asking permission or checking in with somebody. You know, we have a joke in my family that says, you can say no before we ask something, so that we do give people permission to say, does this work for you?
Wonderful. All right, Kelly Kitley getting us